Even kijken.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby open the public sitting of the examination committees for computer science and engineering and embedded systems. It is a pleasure to welcome you and the candidates for this graduation event. We are, as department, proud of the fact that today a lot of students will get the degree of Master of Science. We offer these students a rich variety of high-level courses given by excellent teachers and a challenging graduation project. These ingredients have prepared all these graduates well for their future career. Candidates, I sincerely hope that you enjoyed our university and our challenging educational programs. The examination committee for CSE has assessed the work of the following candidates: Yannick Schepers, Jurien van Winden, Paul Paam, Jolan Rensen, Joost de Boer. The examination committee of Embedded Systems ES has assessed the work of the following candidates: Julian Georgiev, Marijn van der Horst, Mark Timmersma, Vishnu Vivek, Rahul Ramesh, Shibha Nanadi. And I will ask the first supervisor to address the candidate.
Hello, Mark. Yes. Nice to meet you, Mark. My name is Nick. So I'm going to be presenting for my colleagues today. So your supervisor is Andre. Okay. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Please. I will now read a speech that Andre prepared for you. Dear Mark, during the last year, you worked on your diploma project on improving online environment reconstruction based on multiple depth cameras. You were supervised by my colleague, Alessandro Second from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Matthew Bemelmans of Vincitech, and myself, Andre. At this point, I would like to thank both Alessandro and Matthew for their active involvement throughout the duration of this project. Your project was concerned with real-time creation of an occupancy map of unstructured and dynamic environments obtained via observations through a set of RGBD cameras. The process is to be used for reactive and potentially predictive collision avoidance, and, in the second stage, within planning and control schemes for robot environment physical interactions. Specifically, the task was to develop a method for environment sensing used in robotic applications, which is designed to create higher resolution reconstructions compared to existing works. This must be achieved whilst at least retaining the same end-to-end processing time per frame, which is about 30 frames per second. Clearly, your project was very ambitious because of the broad topic combining computer vision, graphics, and some concepts from robotics, which are all very new for you, given your background in electrical engineering. However, you were very enthusiastic about the project because it involved real hands-on hardware, the cameras, and the GPU computing, all in relevant real-world setting. Your work addressed scalable and accurate surface reconstruction from unorganized point clouds, for which you also developed a spatial and temporal filtering technique to reduce the noise introduced by the cameras. Furthermore, you set up and conducted various experiments through which you validated your methods. Overall, you needed quite a bit of involvement from your supervisors, but once you understood what you were required to do, you delivered and kept deadlines so that in the end, you were able to produce a good working implementation. Mark, you are a dedicated worker who knows his stuff and delivers with good speed. Your reporting and engineering skills are also very good. All in all, I am very glad with your work. Congratulations to you and your family, and good luck with your future career. Andrei, congratulations again. All right. All right. Next up, Yurian. Yurian, first of all, nice to see you in person. Yeah. All online, also very tall. All of you are very tall. First of all, congratulations. Well, Yurian, it is my pleasure to celebrate your graduation here with you and your family. Yurian worked on a challenging topic of graph compression for your thesis. Indeed, nowadays, data grows much faster than the capabilities of hardware that processes it. A promising way of dealing with large data volumes in query processing is by employing various efficient compression techniques. You want to compress the data. And this is exactly what Yurian did for his thesis. Specifically, Yurian studied and developed the first toolkit for compression of property graphs, so the graphs with property tables. And these graphs effectively encode both topological and data information. Experimental findings that resulted from Yurian's work are very promising and are very welcome in addition to the arsenal of tools for efficient graph data management for ever-growing data volumes. More and more data we have. You defended an excellent thesis and made it lasting contributions in a database group. I wish you the best in the next steps of your personal and career development. Keep in touch, and thank you for this great collaboration. Thanks again. Okay, we have next, Yolan. So I'm delivering, hey, Yolan. Hey, nice hat, man. Yeah, I think I've seen you somewhere, but. So for Yolan, he was supervised by my colleague at M&CS, and I will deliver a speech for M&CS in his stead. First of all, congratulations with this achievement. Dear Yolan, congratulations for completing your degree. We started working together a bit more than a year ago at the Databases seminar. I remember you explored a couple of topics at the beginning, but you quickly chose the topic of your thesis, how to efficiently discover lagged multiple correlations in time series. For example, how to find out the temperature in one region has a high correlation with the temperature in two other, possibly distant regions, possibly with a time delay. You worked on your thesis diligently, trying to always understand the root of the problem and propose solutions that would work in many cases, instead of proposing a quick and dirty, one-off, ad hoc solutions. You read and understand papers, explored different ideas, and implemented quite a few of them. Some of your contributions even ended up in quite important open source project, which shows the quality of your work. As you know, your work also provides inspirations for other students in the team, opening up future projects. We are building on your results. Thank you for enabling this and for being open to discuss your results with us, even after your defense. Always appreciate it. Jolan, congratulations once more for a well-done thesis. Now that we're all back in the office, don't be a stranger. I'm all looking forward to hear about the exciting problems you will run into in your work, and you know where you find M&CS. Thank you, and congratulations again. Okay, next up, Joost. Again, I'm delivering a speech by another of my colleagues, Casio, the campus, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, but he sends his regards, and I'm going to read the speech for him. First of all, congratulations. All right. Not by choice, by necessity. I am unfortunately in a different university commitment, so I'm very sorry I cannot be here today, says Casio. Joost worked with a very difficult task in the area of reinforcement learning, namely to make an automated agent find the route to exit a maze while having to unlock doors and face other challenges. This type of task has a range of applications, from planning with robots to playing games. Joost was a dedicated student throughout the project, even when facing quite impressive challenges in some phases of the project. The goal was to investigate whether a certain type of machine learning model, which has been shown to have good performance in other tasks, is also suitable in this context. Overall, results did not show that they are very suitable for this type of reinforcement learning task. In the eyes of the excessive optimistic researcher, this may seem as a negative outcome. However, it is really essential for scientific research that we discover what we can and what cannot work in a specific different context and problems that we try to solve. Therefore, this was a good research and the project is successful. Joost did a good job and I commend him for his achievements that culminate to the master's degree. I wish him the best in continuation of his journey, and again, congratulations and good luck. Okay. Now to the next speakers. Four is my maximum so far. I did 3 before, but not 4.
Hi, Julian. Finally, nice to meet you. We never met, right? Yes, so first I would like to congratulate you with your degree. And you followed actually the seminar course. And we worked together for 9 months, even 10, and we never met. So that's quite something, I would say. You took a very challenging topic related to Wi-Fi Halo and worked with a very challenging simulator that you had never heard of before, but very quickly you mastered both and produced very nice piece of work that you got very good mark also for it, and also the admiration of the evaluation committee. You know, I would have liked to have you as a PhD student. I even tried to tempt you a little bit. But unfortunately for us, you decided to go for industry. I'm pretty sure that you will do excellent job as you did with us there as well. And who knows, maybe you decide to come back one day. And then if you do so, we will make sure that there will be a PhD position for you ready with us. I wish you all the best, and also your family and friends. Congratulate you again for this achievement. And yeah, please keep in touch. And I have to. Oh.
Alsjeblieft. Beste Marijn, het mag gewoon in het Nederlands. En daar ben ik blij om en jij hopelijk ook. Van een computerprogramma wil je graag dat het correct is. Maar hoe kan je dat nou vaststellen? En kan dat automatisch of op zijn minst met ondersteuning van een computer? Dat was het thema van je afstudeerproject. Er bestaat al een uitgebreid pakket, Daphne, dat dit soort dingen doet. Intern wordt dan een grote formule opgebouwd die beschrijft dat het programma niet doet wat het moet doen. En op die formule wordt dan de SMT Solver Z3 losgelaten. En als die vaststelt dat er geen oplossing is, dan weet je dat het programma correct is. Maar die vertaling naar Z3 is heel ingewikkeld en moeilijk te begrijpen, terwijl het soms veel simpeler kan. En wat jij gedaan hebt, is een eenvoudigere vertaling maken, waarmee je in veel gevallen toch in staat bent de correctheid van een programma te bewijzen. Niet in alle gevallen, het is niet voor niks dat Daphne zulke ingewikkelde vertalingen maakt. Maar het was toch zeker de moeite waard om uit te zoeken dat het vaak wel eenvoudiger kan. En een programma waar je veel aandacht aan hebt gegeven is het kortste padalgoritme. Als je een netwerk hebt, wat is dan de kortste route van het ene punt naar het andere? En dat is niet zomaar een academische vraag, dat is een algoritme dat dagelijks in routeplanners miljarden keren wordt uitgevoerd. Gedurende het hele project heb ik je nauwelijks in levende lijven gezien. Door alle coronamaatregelen moesten alle afspraken online. Voor sommige studenten gaat dat moeizaam, maar bij jou ging dat prima. Voor elke afspraak maakte je keurig een meeting in MS Teams en konden we online bespreken wat er te bespreken viel. Het voltooien van je afstudeerwerk is een mijlpaal waarmee je helemaal bent afgestudeerd nu en je verder helemaal op je werk kunt richten. Het was prettig om met je samen te werken. Ik wil je graag feliciteren met je afstuderen en daarbij ook familie en vrienden betrekken. En ik wens je veel succes in je carrière.
Some of them, yes. People change. First of all,
Dear Vishnu, about a year ago you were looking for a graduation project at DOE and you sent Henk Corporaal an email and through him you came to me. In our first talks it became clear that you are interested in making highly accurate but also efficient neural networks. And neural networks nowadays are a huge hype. And this hype, it started around 2012 and 3 years later a neural network actually outperformed humans in image classification. Well, our human brain can easily look at many pictures and decide whether there's a cat or a dog inside the image before requiring some food or energy again. But when a computer has to do this, it would need a lot more energy. And this is mainly due to the high computation and storage requirements for neural networks. Now, to reduce the amount of energy required to make a neural network run, you are looking at ternary neural networks. And these networks, they simplify the computation quite a lot, and they reduce the amount of storage needed by storage needed by a factor of 20. Problem, however, is you pay in accuracy. And to solve this, you studied many papers. And you classified all the methods that should improve the training of the ternary neural networks, just to get the accuracy loss reduced. And next to that, you also implemented all of these methods, and you did many experiments of all the possible combinations that were useful. And in the end, from all these experiments, you could draw conclusions. I think you were a very motivated student that had a very broad interest. Not only were you interested in the algorithmic part of the ternary networks, but you also looked at low-level hardware design. And since we could not do everything in a single graduation project, we put the focus, of course, just on the algorithmic part. In the beginning of the project, you had a bit of struggles to get results quickly. However, once that was resolved, the results kept on coming and coming. And towards the end of your project, we really challenged you, and you were able to finish very successfully, I would say. And now, quickly after your defense, you started working at ASML already. And while this is nice, we think it's even nicer that we are still in contact with each other to try and get your work published. Vishnu, we are happy with your work and results, and you deserve to be an engineer. Congratulations, good luck at ASML and your further career.
First of all, congrats. So dear Rahul, so after 2 years, we are finally seeing each other in person, which is nice. Could have happened earlier, but did not happen. But okay, I mean, we finally met each other this morning. And so to start with your project, so you graduated at, or your graduation project was conducted at NXP on multi-objective optimization of neural architecture search. And your NXP supervisor was Dr. William Sundberg, and I supervised you from TUV. Initially, you were also tutored by Sajid Mohammed and Sayandeep. They were at TUV that time. And it had been a good sort of discussions during the process of your thesis work. So the topic of your research was on the hardware awareness of AI training. And as we all know, the AI is being used in multiple fields these days. Face recognition, security monitoring, and safe autonomy is definitely one of them. And some of the bigger, let's say, infrastructure provided by companies like Google, Amazon, they offers the infrastructure to train a big network. Those are very convenient for many cases to train your network. However, when those networks are implemented in the real system, they often are implemented on embedded platforms. Those platforms, they have limitations in terms of memory and compute budget. And then those networks becomes a challenge to port into the hardware. And your research was to make those networks aware of the hardware. And a specific version of the problem you have tackled is the hardware provided by NXP. And your solution was to come up with a hardware-aware network architecture that will be optimized for the specific hardware, taking into account the application needs. And the project at the beginning was not that well defined because nobody knew what to expect from. And it involved several domains from several knowledge from several domains. AI, DNN, those are one direction. Then you need to know modeling and analysis, embedded programming. The additional challenge was that many of these, let's say the hardware that came from NXP, actually was not well documented. So we had to also struggle with that. And obviously, the project was a bit experimental oriented, and it was COVID time, and all were in a virtual world. It was an additional challenge for sure. And initially, we had to have a lot of discussions to define the problem, which was very difficult at the beginning, and those discussions were interesting. And sometimes they were very tough discussions. And at the end, it was a very challenging project. And the good point is that you picked up the topic, you put your effort, honest effort, and you finished your project in spite of everything in a very timely fashion. And the results that you obtained after all these things were actually very satisfying for both for NXP and from my side. I was very happy to see the results of your research. So I think it was actually a great effort, and it paid off. And I wish you all the best for your future. I understand that you are looking for a job of your own choice, and I wish you all the best for that. With that, I would like to hand over to you the gift from TV. Dear Shifa, so first of all, congratulations once again. And again, we are also meeting for the first time in person. I think this morning was the first time I saw you. But my impression about you was more or less correct, even if I looked at you from the teams. It's good. So you have carried out your graduation project at Capgemini Engineering. It was at the beginning at a different name, but in the process of your, in the course of your project, it changed probably. And your thesis was focused on scheduling and scalability analysis of energy efficient display systems. I will explain that because that's not very obvious what is that. But okay, let me first tell you about the supervisors. The Leslie Arts were the supervisor from Capgemini, and obviously I was supervising from TV. So you worked on energy autonomous display systems. Firstly, what are they? So in the buildings of all these modern buildings, we have a lot of displays, and those displays actually takes a lot of energy, and we often don't switch them off for many reasons, including starting up takes some time, and in between the two meetings, you cannot really switch off the entire system. So the idea of the project came from the fact that we can do something to let's say, reduce this power waste. And the simple solution is that to power those displays from with solar cells. But the challenge came when there are several displays and you have several solar cells to be placed such that the displays are powered up in an efficient way. And that basically brings you the question of what should be the topology, what should be the weight or let's say the protocol to communicate, what kind of energy transfer technique or technology you should adopt. So those were the questions you started with. Now the topic was very interesting. The challenge was that it was not really explored previously. So not at TV and not at the company. And you were looking for supervisors, I can remember. And since I was also not in this area, I was initially reluctant to take this project as a supervisor. So initially, then at the end, what happened is that there was nobody from TV who fitting directly into the topic, and I had to, let's say, agree with your proposal. And that was the initial story, and then the company supervisor, Leslie, was more, let's say, into the area, but it was still quite new for him. And we used to have often some discussions, and that hopefully could help you. But the whole point is that you work mostly independently, and many of the concepts you grabbed on your own and picked up. And again, this was a COVID time, so you had some restrictions. And especially this project was very much experimental project, and that also brings you an additional challenge. So with all these things, you finally managed. One thing is that you are very hardworking, honest, and also independently, you are capable of working with the new concept independently. So you managed to get through these challenges nearly in time, I think a couple of months, if I remember correctly. And then at the end, the product that you came up with, that was very appreciated by the company, Capgemini, and obviously that was very interesting for me as well. So with this, I would like to congratulate you once again. I understand that you have started working at ASML. I wish you all the best there. And at the end, I would like to give you this token from TV.
Yannick, hi. How are you? All good, excellent. I'm doing fine too, thank you. Please. It work? Yes. Hi, nice to see you. Like everybody else, I think it actually is the first time, despite you also have done, I think, the internship with us. So it's been quite a bit of time that we have actually known each other. And I actually was not your main supervisor with this. I was involved with your project. So I have also a few words from Emma that he wanted me to read out to you. But for everybody in the audience, what Yannick worked on was joining an activity that we brought up in the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science. It's a security operations center, which is essentially an infrastructure that monitors the security of other infrastructures. So that infrastructure gets lots of event data from customers, and these data needs to be analyzed by analysts. And when something nasty happens, maybe an hacker gets into your network, drops a piece of malware, exfiltrates some data that you would like to keep inside, well, then you need to report this back to the customer. This is the part that Yannick tackled for his thesis. It was actually the first, I think, master thesis that we got out of the SOC. So you're the first SOC graduate, which is brilliant. And the project that was particularly challenging, I think, because, well, on one side, we started off with basically no requirements. So you had to really collect them yourself by interacting with the personnel in the SOC, with us, and through feedback loops, try to define exactly what it had to be about. And then, of course, there was a lot of hardcore development, which is very difficult with this kind of project, dear audience, because well, you can gather requirements at a certain point in time, but then different customers may need to see different kind of information or would like the reporting to be done in different ways. And writing structured code, a program that is structured but it also modular enough and flexible enough to accommodate any needs, future needs for the SOC, was a very difficult task that Yannick went full head on and actually came out of it alive, graduated, and with excellent results. So a very good project overall. I would also like to read a few words that Emma sent me. Emanuele Zambon was the other supervisor for the project, and in fact, your daily, mainly supervisor. So I'm just gonna read out. Due to COVID restrictions, every speech starts like that, if you didn't notice. Due to COVID restrictions, we only saw each other in person once or twice. But Emanuele did enjoy working with Yannick on the report automation tool for the SOC. Emanuele remembers with pleasures your weekly meetings on Friday, where we first defined the basic design of the tool and then, over time, reviewed together the implementation of the different building blocks of the tool, of course. Emanuele liked Yannick's approach to code writing, the clear and structured work he produced, and the fast implementation of the review comments he left. Funny that, being on Friday, our weekly meetings always ended with have a nice weekend, This being the exception, I presume, because it's Monday, but yeah. I think Yannick would like to know that the project he did with us will have a concrete use for our Security Operations Center. The tool is starting to be used in pre-production in these very days, Yannick, and will continue to evolve in the future, being the basis for future student projects. So you even produce more graduates, as you can see. With this, I forgot to give you these first, so let's pretend I did it in time, and let me do it also with this.
Oh, congratulations. Paul, congratulations again. Congratulations on your master's degree. I want to congratulate you on being a master. This is something that you have worked so hard for. You worked for deep learning. You worked on deep learning for medical image processing very hard. Actually, this project, I think, was very challenging. However, you learned deep learning. You developed a method to automatically understand the medical image. And I think you had strong motivations, and you were very proactive. From your master project, I realized how wonderful you are, and that is because of your dedication and hard work. Keep doing the things that make you happy, and keep following your passion, and keep working hard. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Dear students, family members, friends, and all other attendees, let me start with introducing myself. My name is Sanne de Wit, and I'm the current chair of the Study Association for Mathematics and Computer Science, GEWIS. Today is a special day. Today, 80 years ago, the 49th element in the periodic system received the name plutonium. It was named after the planet Pluto to continue the tradition that was set for elements 92 and 93, uranium and neptunium. But for you today is probably more special since you received your master's degree. I'm very happy that I'm able to congratulate you in person, that you are able to celebrate with your friends and family close. Obtaining your master's degree requires a lot of studying, motivation, energy, for you maybe even more than others, since you obtained it during a time that was, of course, highly unusual due to the ongoing pandemic. We heard that most of you did all your meetings online. At this moment, you are at the start of a whole new life, here at the university or at a company, and it's the time to start achieving many more goals. I'm curious what someone will tell about you in a speech 40 years from now. Receiving your master's degree is something you can be very proud of. Your friends, your family can be proud of you, and I'm proud of you on behalf of GEWIS. The only thing left for me to do is to congratulate you all once again with this wonderful achievement, and I hope you will achieve many more goals in your life. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Masters of Science, you have been conferred your degree for Masters of Computer Science and Engineering. This degree entitles you to use the titles Master of Science and Engineer. With reference to the words of the previous speakers, and on behalf of the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science and Electrical Engineering, I would like to congratulate you and your family on your degree. But before I close the meeting, I also would like to express some serious words, namely the scientific degree of master involves duties as well as rights. As a holder of this degree, you are committed to standards of scientific integrity, trustworthiness, intellectual honesty, openness, independence, and societal responsibility. These standards are described in more detail in the Netherlands Code of Conduct for Research Integrity and in the Eindhoven Code based on it. You also have duties towards society. You must be clear about the boundaries of your own expertise, and you must communicate honestly and independently about the results of your work, including potential risks associated with it. You are committed to the ethical codes for research and design involving human subjects or animals. To conclude, I wish you every success and good fortune in your future career. Ladies and gentlemen, our photographer will now make some pictures of the candidates, and we will ask you to leave this room and wait outside to congratulate the graduates. And I hereby close this public meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby open the combined public session of the examinations committees for computer science and engineering, business and information systems, embedded systems, and industrial and applied mathematics. These committees represent different master programs of the mathematics and computer science department in collaboration with the departments of electrical and engineering and industrial engineering and innovation sciences. My name is Sam Borst, and I'm standing in today for Professor Edwin van der Heuvel, the Vice Dean of the department and member of the department board, who would have chaired this session today, as you saw in the program, but who unfortunately fell ill over the weekend. It's my pleasure to welcome you all on this magnificent day. Okay. It's my pleasure to welcome you all on this magnificent day, and in particular, of course, the candidates to this graduation event. We, as the department, are proud that 17 students, our students, you see them here in front, will receive the degree of Master of Science, and 5 of them will receive the degree with a cum laude distinction. We offered these students a rich variety of advanced courses given by excellent teachers. They also conducted a challenging graduation project. And we think that they are very well prepared for their careers. Some continue in science, some go to industry, and others start their own business. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed your life at our university and the program you followed. The examinations committee for the data science in engineering has assessed the work of the following candidates. And please accept my apologies in case I mispronounce your name. Stef Kremers, Thijs Meeuwissen, Mark Mondemakers, Anne Brouwers, Lucas Peters, Gijs Smit, David Dekker, Loïc Heil, Merel Pennekamp, Hoelin Zhu en Yibin Lai. The Examinations Committee for Industrial and Applied Mathematics has assessed the work of the following candidates. David Dekker, double degree apparently, Lars Verstralen, Zoe van den Heuvel, Robert de Keizer, Niels Verheijden en Mark Rasenberg. Ladies and gentlemen, candidates Masters of Science, I'm pleased to say that you have all passed your examinations and you will therefore receive your diploma shortly for your respective master's degree. This degree entitles you to use the titles Master of Science and Ingenieur. The graduation advisors, who sit behind the table here, will now hand over the diplomas and deliver a short speech. I will not further introduce them, but you will see their names on the screen behind us. So we'll start with the first candidate, Professor de Campos.
So my name is Cassio, but Stef was advised, supervised by Marian Tavakol, who couldn't be here, and she's unfortunately away, not in the country, and she would like to be here, and she gave me a speech. So when I say I here, it means Marian, not myself, okay? Good afternoon to everyone, and a special hello to Stef. First of all, congratulations on your well-deserved graduation. I wish I was there to hand your diploma myself, but unfortunately I couldn't be. Overall, it was a great pleasure for me to supervise you in your graduation project. You did a great job. Staff worked on multi-objective optimization of fairness and efficiency using reinforcement learning techniques, on the application of mobility on demand platforms, which is a highly challenged problem and led to successful results. I would like to mention that I enjoy very much working with Steph in completing this thesis. He's a very well organized person, always very careful, paying attention to details, well aware of his abilities, and I'm very happy that despite the pandemic, we had the chance to meet in person, work in person a few times. To Steph, congratulations again, and I hope that you can find a very well-deserved career that you are passionate about, and all the best wishes from me, and happy spring. And I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that Steph got a cum laude, and I didn't mention that. So I'm very sorry for that. Congratulations on that. So guess what? It's me again, as myself this time. And Thijs and I, we worked together during this last months. So Thijs worked on the problem of lack of robustness in some AI solutions that are even being used nowadays. Some of these AIs can be easily fooled, and they up guessing completely wrong predictions about what they should do. So for instance, an image or video can be perturbed just a few pixels or a small change of colors that are indistinguishable to human eyes, and still the AI can be fooled to give wrong answers. The overall goal was to understand what type of models and learning algorithms are more or less susceptible to this type of issues. This field of reliable and robust AI is booming, and this was a great attempt in that direction. Thijs worked on trying to understand the difference between two types of models. One type of model that tries to model the process behind the data, called generative, and another which is called discriminative, where the model is tuned to a certain application and doing predictions. And the work was not without challenges. We clearly saw that motivation levels changed in certain moments, which was an expected situation from pandemic conditions and other things of life. Yet the final quality of the thesis of Thijs is excellent. The content is very well presented, the quality of his position, and the arguments are excellent. The results helped us to conclude that robustness of these models is a much more intricate problem than we initially thought. And we discover much more challenges than new final solutions. Did we want more than that? Yes, obviously. So this was a small part on a big line of research. It was always easy to work with Thijs. He provided clear arguments, results, discussions, and was very organized and worked independently, at the same time taking suggestions on board and using them in the process. So it was a great pleasure to have worked with him, and I again congratulate him for the master thesis and wish all the best in the continuation.
Hi, Mark. Yep, that's you. So, Mark, first of all, congratulations on your master's degree. My name is Dirk Valand. I was Mark's supervisor. So, Mark, we met during the process mining courses, right? That's something that we teach here at the TUE. And you were also my mentee. And at some point, you wanted to do an internship, needed a supervisor, and we did that together. And you worked there on something very interesting, forecasting the usage of automated shuttles. And that is such a long time ago that feels a bit very distant. And then, because your background is not data science or computer science, your background is mechanical engineering, you said, I would like to something closer to home. Van der Lande is a company that builds baggage handling systems, so mechanical systems that do things that you know. So you said, I would be really interested in doing a project there. And one of the topics that we had lying around is, in these large baggage handling systems, traffic jams occur, just like on an ordinary street. If you have too many bags going into a particular spot at the same time, they queue up, and you don't want that traffic jam to grow. You want to be able to predict it and to prevent it. So that was your question. Can we use some kind of other event data, for example, about the equipment, where it signals, equipment is not working as intended? That could be an indicator of whether a traffic jam would occur. So there was a very simple problem, which turned out to be quite challenging, mostly because there was some hidden data problems. There was a data was recorded in one time zone and in another time zone. The things never matched. And this was really annoying, to put it mildly. But you pushed through, and what you managed to achieve is to adopt this prototype technique for predicting traffic jams for a real system, so that Van der Lande can use it on all kinds of very large baggage handling systems, and to give it also really nice visualizations that engineers can work with. What I got to know you as a person over the project is you're a very friendly person. That was something outstanding. Over the whole pandemic, Mark always asked me, the first thing is, how are you doing? I like that. That was great from you to do. And you're also a very determined person. Yeah? So all the difficulties with data, they were really challenging, but you stick to it. You worked yourself through it, and it was fantastic to see you find yourself back to your true qualities after we could resolve that. This is what truly makes a good engineer. So these are fantastic qualities. Remember that you have in them, and you will be a great engineer and a fantastic colleague to work with. Congratulations again, Mark. Thank you very much. Anna, congratulations on your master's degree. So we also met in the process mining course, right? That's the thing that I do. And after the course, you asked me whether you could do a capita selector. That's a small research project. And I'll tell the audience in a moment what this was all about, so they have to wait a moment. But you liked the topic enough that you wanted to continue on this kind of research also doing your master project. I'm not sure whether you knew what you got yourself into when you decided for that. So what did Anna work on during the project? So you looked into process mining algorithms. These are algorithms which construct visual models, so nice diagrams, boxes and arrows, that show how a process actually works based on event data. And normally this data, this event log, is stored in a file, and the program we write is a Java program. But we started a recent line of research where we store the data in a database, a graph database. And I wanted to know, can we rewrite that algorithm into database queries, which is a very, very different way of programming than in Java. So that's a problem that I gave you. And the first one in a capita selector was quite easy. Well, they had some challenges, but so you set onto it. But it's fundamentally a big paradigm shift, because you have to rethink everything that you do about this analysis. And you achieved exactly that, a paradigm shift. You re-implemented the state-of-the-art algorithm, the most sophisticated one that we have, in terms of database queries. And you didn't only do this for the most basic version of the algorithm, but you went all the way to the most complex version. And you could also clearly show when does it pay off to do something in a database, and when should we rather stick to Java. So it was very great to see as outcome of your analysis. I got to know you as a very serene and calm person. I'm sure it never always felt like this during the project, but you were amazingly prepared. You had always clear ideas and questions. It was fantastic to have all these weekly meetings with you. And you know your computer science theory incredibly well, which helped a lot in just doing this project in the first place. And it's not just that you know the theory, you can also put it into practice. You built all this thing, it works, and you could also explain it great in presentations, but also in your report. So these are outstanding skills for very difficult challenges, and I hope you get to work on these challenges in the future because you will be excellent at them. Congratulations again on your degree.
So, Professor Pechenitsky Mikola wasn't able to be here today, but he asked me to read something for you from him. Dear Lucas, congratulations with the successful completion of your master's studies. You chose to do your graduation project with a company called Republic. They offered you an exciting and challenging research topic, studying livability of neighborhoods in the Netherlands. You came up with an informative and fancy-sounding title, Inverse Classification with Actionable Attributes, a case study on livability in Dutch neighborhoods. Indeed, thinking computationally about the notion of livability is a non-trivial exercise. You studied a lot of existing literature, investigated different indexes telling something important about the quality of life and how those indexes are computed or predicted. You put a lot of thought into how these indexes could be used in practice by policymakers and other stakeholders, and perhaps could be misused unintentionally. You came up with an effective approach that provides actionable insights into livability. This required you to consider different research questions and research problem formulations, complementing data mining and predictive modeling perspectives with ideas from explainable AI and counterfactual thinking. The company appreciated the results of your research. It was a pleasure for me to supervise your graduation project. Congratulations again on successful completion. I wish you all the best in your future career. So. All right, guys, you're up. Dear Gijs, congratulations on your graduation. You've graduated with cum laude. That's a great success. Congratulations. You worked on a project for analyzing electron microscope images at ASML. There are images of incredibly small scales where the electrons that are used to scan interact with the material, which causes visible effects on the image. You worked on algorithms that would automate the processing of or correcting such effects. In these projects, you needed to bring your computer science and data science skill to a domain of physics in one of the most advanced high-tech industries of semiconductor manufacturing. You rose to this challenge admirably and developed a highly valued solution for the company. Great work. During the project, you've demonstrated positive attitudes and your dedication, certainly traits that will guide you towards a success in your future. However, one of your characterizing traits is how independently you also worked. Frequently in our weekly updates, you'd start by presenting a challenge you faced. In many cases, I would jump into this with all sorts of suggestions, but by the time that we agreed on what is best to be done, you've already go to the next slide and show me you already done this and that you have some results to show. I have no doubt you will continue to face and overcome future challenges, whatever you decide to do next. To sum it up, it was a great pleasure working with you during your internship and your graduation project. Congratulations again, Gijs, and good luck with your career.
Beste Loïc, van harte gefeliciteerd met het behalen van je diploma. Je hebt hier een erg uitdagend project voor aangepakt, samen met Martijn Tennekes bij het CBS. En het leek in eerste opzicht bedrieglijk simpel. Stel, je krijgt wat data per hectare in Nederland. Een paar categorieën. En voor een klein stukje Nederland is dat heel makkelijk te visualiseren. Je geeft gewoon elke hectare een kleur die de categorie aangeeft. Maar nou wil je heel Nederland visualiseren. In één keer overzichtelijk. Hoe bereken je zo'n visuele samenvatting voor heel Nederland, zodat je nog steeds de goede patronen in de data ziet? Daar heb je naar gekeken. Je kan die dots, die hectares wel samenvoegen, maar ja, met categorieën, je kan niet een gemiddelde nemen of zo en je krijgt dan eigenlijk gewoon één brei als je al die kleuren door elkaar gaat gooien. Dus dat ging niet zo makkelijk. De uitdaging is dus om strategisch die kleuren te kiezen voor elk samengevoegde dot, om zo de algemene verdeling van de data weer te geven, maar ook de geografische verdeling nog steeds. Te zorgen dat minderheden nog steeds duidelijk zijn bijvoorbeeld. Zoals je hebt laten zien, komen hier heel veel verschillende aspecten bij kijken. En je hebt een mooi aantal nieuwe algoritmes ontwikkeld die echt goed samenwerken om dit probleem degelijk op te lossen. On the fly heb je ook nog even een nieuwe kwaliteitsmaat geïntroduceerd om deze nieuwe methodes te ondersteunen. En je hebt ook nog echt diep gekeken naar onderzoek in perceptie om te kijken van wat zien mensen nu eigenlijk als ze naar zo'n kaart kijken. En dit alles heb je echt heel zelfstandig aangepakt. Voor Martijn en mij zorgde dat echt voor een fijn project, een mooi project waarbij we elke keer weer benieuwd waren naar je voortgang in onze wekelijkse meetings. Ik wens je heel veel succes met je carrière en nogmaals van harte gefeliciteerd, ook namens Martijn natuurlijk.
Merel, als allereerste hartelijk gefeliciteerd met het behalen van jouw diploma. Al een goede tijd voordat je aan je afstudeerproject toe was, stuurde je mij een mailtje dat je was overgestapt van een bachelor technische wiskunde naar een master data science en dat je al graag een goed idee wilde krijgen van de markt waar je later een carrière in wilde beginnen. Ik was daarom ook enorm blij dat het niet bij een verkennend gesprek is gebleven, maar dat je een jaartje later weer een berichtje stuurde dat je nu echt op het punt was gekomen om een afstudeerproject te gaan beginnen en dat je dat ook heel graag bij Shinto Labs wilde doen. En dat is natuurlijk ook leuk omdat wij elkaar al een langere tijd kennen vanuit Gewis, waar wij ook een aantal mooie initiatieven hebben gedaan, een paar leuke commissies hebben gedaan. En ook hier bij Shinto Labs bracht je weer een hoop tofs naar de tafel. In je eigen project over digital twins, maar ook bij andere projecten waar je altijd graag meekeek naar hoe we toch de datavisualisaties een tandje mooier konden maken. Je thesis begon met het idee dat je wilde onderzoeken of gemeenten meer uit data konden halen als de data werd gevisualiseerd in een digital twin dan op een 2D-kaart. En wat daar natuurlijk de voor- en de nadelen daarvan waren. Het was een ontzettend ambitieus project en ik weet nog dat ik heel erg verrast was dat er in hele korte tijd al een digital twin stond, inclusief een dag- en nachtcyclus, golvend water, werkende lantaarnpalen en zelfs bomen, want daar had de gemeente ook data over. Toen ik het verhaal begon, had ik het al een beetje gezegd. Je bent ontzettend ambitieus, je hebt een proactieve en leergierige houding en die is tijdens onze tijd samen bij Shinto Labs weer naar boven gekomen. Altijd was je bij ons team betrokken, paste je er goed bij op een technisch vlak, maar ook op een persoonlijk vlak. En qua persoonlijkheid kwam dat ook altijd goed naar boven. Zoals de keer dat je in je eenhoorn onesie met ons uit een escape room bent ontsnapt op een teamuitje. Merel, nogmaals namens mij en al jouw collega's bij Shinto Labs van harte gefeliciteerd met het behalen van je diploma. Met name namens je dagelijks begeleider Mignon, die er niet bij kon zijn helaas. Gefeliciteerd en heel veel succes bij je toekomstige carrière. So, Michael Lenderski wasn't able to be here today, but he wrote a speech for me to read. Willin, I was looking forward to finally meeting you in person today and congratulating you on obtaining your master's degree, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I had to delegate this honor to Vlado. You have worked on a project supervised by Simon Cope and myself. The project was done at Thermo Fisher, a company specializing in metrology equipment and semiconductor industry. The machines they produced are basically giant microscopes, and just as any other machine, also these microscopes sometimes break and need to be serviced. Your task was to detect and explain anomalies in their behavior based on sensor data for predicting and servicing failures. The data you were provided was typically industrial data. It was neither clean nor structured. It had all kinds of problems, and you chose to focus on irregularities and sparse sampling. This is a challenging and current research topic that is also relevant in many other machine learning applications. You have proposed a data processing framework that addressed this problem. During the project, you had the pleasure to experience various obstacles on the way, including working on difficult data set, not necessarily aligned with the machine learning objectives, administrative challenges, getting your internships arranged, and of course the challenge of working during the COVID pandemic. You had the discipline and tenacity to conquer all of them, so I believe you are well prepared for the next stage in your professional life. And since you're in the process of applying for positions in a company around Eindhoven, who knows, we may actually get to meet in person one day. It was a pleasure working with you, and congratulations again.
Congratulations again. Congratulations on your master's degree. I want to congratulate you on becoming a master. This is something that you have worked so hard for. You worked on attacking for NRP project, and I think this project was very challenging. However, you did very well. You worked very hard, and you have very, very strong motivations. And you are very proactive. Based on the master thesis project, I realized how wonderful you are, and that's because your dedication and hard work. Keep doing the things that make you happy, and keep following your passions, and keep working hard. Congratulations again.
Beste Lars, gefeliciteerd met het behalen van je master en gefeliciteerd met de mooie resultaten van het project waarmee je de laatste stap naar je diploma hebt gezet. Dit project ging over de wiskundige beschrijving van meerfasestromingen van vloeistoffen in poreuze media. En als je daarbij denkt aan aardolie en water in ondergrondse lagen van zand of klei, wordt de praktische betekenis hiervan meteen duidelijk. En niet voor niks is het specifieke analytische probleem waaraan je hebt gewerkt dan ook genaamd naar een ingenieur werkend in de olieindustrie. Dit Muscat-probleem is dus al 70 jaar oud, maar nog steeds zijn er open vragen. En juist in de laatste 20, 30 jaar was het belangrijk vooruitgang in de analyse daarvan toen nieuwe wiskundige technieken beschikbaar kwamen om de intrinsieke moeilijkheden die dit probleem bevat systematisch te overwinnen. Een uitdagend doel dus voor een student met ambitie. Jij schroomde niet om jouw ambitie meteen aan het begin van het project aan mij als begeleider duidelijk te maken. En ik dacht, nu moet je het nog laten zien ook. Lars, de uitvoering van het project en het cijfer dat je daarvoor uiteindelijk hebt gekregen laten geen twijfel dat dat inderdaad gelukt is. Het project stelde serieuze eisen wat betreft het leren omgaan met technisch nogal ingewikkelde integraaloperatoren die de hoofdrol spelen bij de toegang tot het probleem. Hier heb je je snel en diep ingewerkt. En ook wanneer ik niet zeker van was of het allemaal wel duidelijk was overgekomen, stelde je mij gerust met woorden als, ik citeer, er gaan dingen goed in mijn hoofd. Einde citaat. Nu moesten die dingen echter uit je hoofd nog goed in je verslag krijgen. En over die uitdaging hebben we veel met elkaar gepraat in de eindfase van het project. Als muziekexpert schreef je regelmatig in het Gewisverenigingsblad over artiesten, uiteenlopend van Björk tot minder bekende grunge- en metalbands, voor zover die karakterisering correct is, waar ik geen garantie voor kan geven. Daarbij ontwikkelde je een best wel florissante stijl die het lezen van je muziekrecensies de moeite waard maakt, maar die wat minder geschikt is voor wiskundige teksten en die zijn meer gebaat bij wat meer nuchterheid en precisie. Maar ook op dit gebied heb je uiteindelijk behoorlijke vooruitgang weten te boeken en niets staat je nu in de weg naar je volgende carrière stappen. Daarvoor wens ik je geluk bij het vinden van kansen en wijsheid bij het maken van de juiste keuzes. Nogmaals gefeliciteerd. Ik moet nog even terug die...
Dear Zoe, first of all, congratulations on your graduation. It is a pleasure to meet you in person for the first time today and celebrate this great achievement with your family and friends. So I remember your first email when you reached out asking about the availability of a final project on statistical methods for weather forecasting. At that time, I had another student who just started working on that, so I offered you a slightly different but still interesting topic, which involved the use of convolutional neural networks for wind gust speed prediction. So I remember that you got super excited about this research direction because it would give you the opportunity to learn new concepts, in particular about neural networks and wind gust predictions. So moreover, the project was co-supervised by Dr. Kieran Wan, from the Royal Dutch Meteorological Institute. This was a big plus for you because it would make it possible to work with real wind gust data from the Netherlands. And so your path of graduation started. So the main goal of the thesis was to explore the use of convolutional neural networks to obtain more accurate prediction for wind gust speed. And you put a special focus on improving the prediction of extreme events associated with national weather warnings. So these warnings are actually very relevant for everyone in the Netherlands and so also in this room. Because they tell people the risk that is associated with strong wind gusts. So for example, with a yellow code, you would just have to secure your outdoor furniture. But with the red code, you would have to stay at home and avoid the traveling. This is something that we experienced in February. So there was really a lot to explore within this project, as convolutional neural networks had never been used for wind gust prediction. So but on the other hand, you also had to think of a fair setup to assess whether applying these sophisticated and computationally expensive models could really be convenient. And so in particular, you had to come up with simpler statistical models and distributions to use as baselines. Moreover, you had to deal with big and complex data sets, as well as the training and testing of neural networks for the first time in your life. In a nutshell, you had to learn a lot, as the topic was particularly challenging, especially from a computational perspective. You found this out pretty soon, but eventually you made it work. And so after diving into tons of research papers and data before being able to see, you had to do it before being able to see concrete results, but you never got discouraged, which is really a big plus. So Dr. Van and I were very happy to see your knowledge growing during the project, and we all thought that it was super fun. So I personally got to know you as an enthusiastic and motivated student, but also as a respectful and considerate person, which is also important. So you're really passionate about learning new concepts, and this is certainly a strong point in your future career. So to conclude, I would like to say again that I very, very much enjoyed working with you. So congratulations on your graduation on behalf of Kiri and myself, and I really wish you all the best for your future career.
Congrats, Robert. Okay. So I'm really glad I got to experience working with you on several occasions. Once in my PD course, and then, of course, during the internship with ASML, which I obviously cannot talk about. And then on your master thesis in collaboration with Savas Kokkelmans in the Applied Physics Department. Now let me begin by telling everyone a little bit about Robert's work ethics with two examples. So Robert would come into our weekly scheduled meeting and say something like, "Oh, I've got this brilliant idea." And he would start to explain his ideas, and I'd go like, "Sounds great, let's try it out." But then he'd go like, "Oh, but I've already done it." Whips out his laptop and shows me simulation results of the work that he has done. And this also happens at random times of the week, including weekends. Another example is during the master project, I made Robert keep a logbook, a daily logbook, so he would write down everything that he did that day, so I could have rough ideas of what he had been working on before our weekly meeting. This was a big mistake on my part, because by the time the meeting came, I had 10 to 15 pages on average of new material to read. And of course, in the meeting, I would pretend to have read, and I would make him explain to me everything, just in case he did not know what he was doing. Robert, you are an internally driven achiever. In your thesis, you developed a novel analog optimal control approach to quantum computing that could compete with current state-of-the-art methods, and in some cases even outdo them. So what you've done is revolutionary. The work was so good that you've already received emails from IBM staff one day after we've uploaded the work onto preprint, the preprint onto archive. And now you even have an invitation to speak at the Forschungszentrum Jülich in Germany. What a wonderful way to start your career. With the quality of your thesis and defense, you held Savas and I hostage. We didn't have a choice but to give you the best grade. It seems like you did that with all your other courses as well, which finally earned you a well-deserved cum laude. Congratulations. I'm sure today will only be the first of many proud moments for you, so keep achieving and keep accomplishing. The world awaits what you have to offer, but for now, I still have you to myself, at least for a little while. Congratulations, Robin.
Beste Niels, van harte gefeliciteerd met het behalen van dit diploma. Ik zie dat er geen beeltenis van jou is, maar van het project waar je mee bezig hebt gehouden. Niels heeft zich gebogen over het probleem van het plannen van de bewegingen van inpakrobots. Je moet zich voorstellen, een lopende band, komen producten binnen en daarnaast nog een lopende band met dozen. En nu moeten er een rij robots kiezen hoe ze gezamenlijk sommige dozen helemaal goed kunnen vullen en andere helemaal niet. En dat is een heel uitdagend probleem, want die robots hebben maar heel weinig tijd om dat überhaupt te besluiten. Die producten komen min of meer ongereguleerd binnen en ze weten maar kort van tevoren wat te doen. Dus we hebben heel wat uit de kast moeten halen om dat uiteindelijk goed te krijgen. En dat was ook bepaald niet de enige uitdaging tijdens dit project. Ik ben blij dat je hier met een blije lach weer staat, want Niels, net als veel andere studenten uit dit cohort, is een project begonnen tijdens de coronapandemie. En ik geloof dat we elkaar de eerste paar maanden alleen maar via een scherm hebben gezien. En ik moet zeggen, ik zag je zitten daar op mijn laptop en ik dacht, dit is niet waar Niels energie van krijgt. En ik denk dat het ook, ja, later hebben we elkaar wel in persoon gesproken. Maar zeker tegen het einde denk ik dat je er af en toe flink doorheen zat met alle lockdowns en het relatieve rust. Zeker toen je op een gegeven moment strompelend binnenkwam en bleek dat het ene ding waar je nou echt wel goed energie van kreeg, namelijk voetballen, dat het ook eventjes niet door kon gaan vanwege een blessure. Dus je had op het eind misschien een beetje een verbeten trek op je gezicht, maar je hebt wel doorgezet en het helemaal afgemaakt. En ik denk dat het goed is om op dit moment nog te stellen dat ik niet alleen namens mezelf je hier feliciteer, maar ook namens al die docenten wiens tentamens jij gehaald hebt en namens de hele opleiding van harte gefeliciteerd.
Okay, so I'm putting a different hat on now as a graduation supervisor of Mark Rasenberg, and also switching to Dutch now for the speech. Beste Mark, het doet me veel plezier om je het diploma te mogen overhandigen en om je als eerste te feliciteren met het behalen van je mastertitel. En ik wil ook graag je ouders en verdere familieleden en vrienden en kennissen in de gelukwensen betrekken. Het is vandaag alweer bijna 2 maanden geleden dat je je afstudeerpresentatie gaf. En dat was een prachtige afronding van een vrij project dat je hebt uitgevoerd bij Nokia Bell Labs in Stuttgart. Met stevige uitdagingen waar ik zo dadelijk iets meer over zal vertellen. Ik wil echter eerst kort even schetsen hoe het allemaal zover is gekomen. En daarvoor ga ik graag terug naar ons eerste e-mailcontact. Dat dateert van ruim 2,5 jaar geleden. 14 augustus 2019, zoals je ongetwijfeld zult herinneren. En in het voorjaar van dat jaar had je het vak Queuing Systems gevolgd en zeer veel indruk gemaakt met je resultaten. Vandaar dat ik je wilde strikken voor een studentassistentschap. En dat studentassistentschap dat zou voor de helft uit een onderwijstaak bestaan, namelijk bij datzelfde vak Queuing Systems, maar voor de andere helft uit een onderzoekscomponent rond een nader te bepalen onderwerp. En ik was zeer verheugd dat je dat aanbod accepteerde. En zo raakten we in december 2019, vlak voor de kerst, in gesprek over dat onderzoeksonderwerp. Het probleem laat zich niet eenvoudig uiteenzetten, helaas. Maar het draaide ruwweg om optimale scheduling in draadloze communicatienetwerken met deadlines en variaties in de kwaliteit van het communicatiekanaal. En je ging als een razende met dat probleem aan de slag en kwam in no time terug met hele interessante ideeën en algoritmen. Het bleek wel dat het opschrijven lastig was. Maar je hebt toen die ideeën gepresenteerd aan Silvio Mandelli van Nokia Bell Labs, die daar ook sterke belangstelling voor had, wegens de genoemde toepassing in draadloze communicatienetwerken. Bijvoorbeeld voor de aansturing van zelfrijdende auto's. Dus het kwam ook niet geheel als verrassing dat je uiteindelijk ook je afstudeerproject bij Nokia Bell Labs zou gaan doen onder zijn begeleiding. Ik heb nu wel een aantal belangrijke zaken overgeslagen uit de tussenliggende periode. Allereerst die onderwijstaak die je in het voorjaar van 2020 hebt verricht voor queuing systems. En dat deed je uitstekend. En het was heel fijn dat je in het voorjaar van 2021 nogmaals op voortreffelijke wijze assistentie hebt verleend bij dat vak. En dan als terugkerend thema van vandaag, er was ook corona dat in de tussentijd uitbrak en de wereld in zijn greep hield. En dat maakte het leven niet leuker, het studeren ook niet gemakkelijker, maar al helemaal niet het ondernemen van een afstudeerproject in het buitenland. En ik herinner me nog dat we vorig jaar maart samen met je vader een soort campagneplan hebben besproken met uitgebreide voorzorgsmaatregelen, zodat je na toestemming van onze decaan toch van start hebt kunnen gaan in Stuttgart. Helaas betekent het wel dat de mogelijkheden voor interactie met Silvio en andere collega's bij Nokia zeer beperkt waren en dat je daardoor was gedwongen om zeer zelfstandig te opereren. En dat zorgde voor forse uitdagingen, allereerst al omdat het onderzoek aan draadloze communicatienetwerken zeer veel achtergrondkennis vereist van de specifieke technologie. En het was ook de bedoeling dat je je resultaten zou implementeren in een zeer geavanceerd simulatieplatform in Stuttgart, waarvoor je veel kennis moest eigen maken zonder dat je daarvoor zomaar even bij mensen kon aankloppen. Dus ik heb heel veel bewondering voor hoe je je daar doorheen hebt geslagen en uiteindelijk zeer mooie resultaten hebt verkregen. En je hebt algoritmes helpen ontwikkelen om energieverbruik en interferentie te reduceren in draadloze communicatienetwerken door de transmissies over langere tijd uit te smeren, maar tegelijkertijd te zorgen dat ze allemaal binnen de gestelde limieten plaatsvinden. Wat bijvoorbeeld voor zelfrijdende auto's wel vrij essentieel is. Je mocht een presentatie geven voor de vice-president van de Bell Labs en de ontwikkelde algoritmen zijn voorgesteld aan de business unit van Nokia voor mogelijke implementatie in toekomstige producten. Mark, het is nog niet zeker wat je nu verder gaat doen, denk ik. Of misschien weet jij het al wel en alleen ik nog niet. Maar met jouw kwaliteiten en talenten ben ik er sterk van overtuigd dat je prachtige kansen en mogelijkheden voor je liggen. Nogmaals, van harte gefeliciteerd. Alle succes en geluk gewenst in je loopbaan en verdere leven. En het gaat je goed. So I'm putting my chair hat on again and switching back to English for the continuation of the ceremony. It's our custom that the chairperson of our study association GEWIS will address the graduates and highlight a few points and special contributions of some of you. So it's a pleasure for me to pass the word to Sanne de Wit as the current chairwoman of GEWIS.
Dear students, family, friends, other attendees, let me start by introducing myself. I'm Sanne, and I'm the chair of GEWIS, the Study Association for Mathematics and Computer Science. And today, you all received your master's degree. Congratulations. This is something you worked so hard for. It required so much energy, motivation. You can be really proud of yourself for this. Yeah, at this moment you are at the start of a whole new era of your life, either here at the university or at a company, and it's the time to start achieving many more goals. I'm very curious what someone will say about you in a speech 40 years from now. Yeah, you can be very proud of yourself for receiving this master's degree. Your family, your friends, you can all be proud of you, and I'm very proud of you on behalf of GEWIS. And I will now pay some more attention to some members who contributed a lot to GEWIS over the years. And for this I will switch to Dutch for a moment. And then I will first ask Lars to come forward. Hi. Ja, Lars, jij bent je carrière bij GEWIS begonnen in een eerstejaarscommissie. En toen ik vanochtend vertelde dat ik deze speech aan het schrijven was, toen zei iemand: oh, in ons jaar waren er 2 Larsen. En Lars Verstralen kon je herkennen aan dat hij geen muts op had. Dus jij was de Lars zonder muts. Maar ik heb je leren kennen door de Supremum. Later, toen we samen in die commissie zaten, maar daarvoor al, omdat je altijd mooie stukken over muziek schreef. Voor mij als informaticus was dat altijd wel welkom tussen al die moeilijke wiskundige stukken. Ja, ik ben dus vanochtend even in onze archieven gedoken. En ik heb meer dan 16 artikelen gevonden die jij ongeveer 16 artikelen gevonden die jij geschreven hebt in jouw tijd bij de Supremum. Dus dank je wel voor al je mooie artikelen en je bijdrage. Ja, en gefeliciteerd. En dan... Ja. En dan wil ik nu graag Merel naar voren vragen. Yes. Merel, in 2017 en 2018 was jij bestuurslid bij Gewis. En jij vervulde daar de rol van commissaris innovatie. En dat is niet een standaardrol die we hebben, maar als 7e bestuurslid heb jij je ingezet om een groot project op te pakken in de vereniging. En zo heb jij heel lang gewerkt. Je hebt gewerkt aan de persoonlijke ontwikkeling. Je hebt onder andere Train opgezet, een commissie die er nu voor zorgt dat gewisleden heel veel interessante trainingen en workshops kunnen volgen. En verder heb je nog heel veel, ook buiten je bestuursjaar, toegevoegd aan de vereniging. Zo heb je onder andere vele biertjes getapt bij de barcommissie. Je bent al bijna 6 jaar lid. Ik moest noemen dat je een tijdje inkoper was en viceveur. En dat je de bar leuk vindt, dat is aan niemand voorbij gegaan. Want ook laat je niet echt de kans liggen om een keertje een dansje te wagen op de bar. Ja, wat je verder allemaal nog hebt gedaan is eigenlijk bijna te veel om op te noemen. Je hebt geholpen bij Sci-Fi, GSM, First Year Support, C4. En daarnaast ben je ook nog lid van de SPTV. Een van de eerste dingen die mensen vanochtend over jou noemden toen ik vertelde dat ik deze speech aan het schrijven was, ging over je prachtige kostuum. En je hebt hier vaak in rondgelopen en je bent altijd supergoed te herkennen als je die aan hebt. En dan heb ik het natuurlijk over je prachtige eenhoornwansie. Merel, dank je wel voor al je inzet de afgelopen jaren. En ik heb ook nog een certificaat om je te bedanken. Gefeliciteerd. En dan als laatste nog Niels. Nieuws. In het jaar 2018, 2019 was jij penningmeester van Gewis. En penningmeesters vinden zelf altijd dat ze de allerbeste functie uit het bestuur hebben. En dat is goed te merken aan de hoeveelheid uitjes en penno-shots die er gedaan worden. Ja, als penningmeester heb je natuurlijk ook het privilege om de Gewis bankpas te beheren. Alhoewel, ik heb gehoord dat in jouw bestuursjaar, toen je naar een van de beroemde penno-uitjes ging, deze even in bewaring is genomen door de voorzitter en de secretaris, omdat ze toch iets te bang waren dat er met de Gewis bankpas een fusje afgerekend zou worden. Ook heb je nog vele commissies gedaan. Zo was je lid van Supremum, Train, veel verschillende kascontrolecommissies, Gemold, de jaarboekcommissie en ook natuurlijk de barcommissie. Dat Merel graag een dansje op de bar. Bij jou was het op een andere manier te merken dat je de bar leuk vond. Namelijk omdat je wel eens een stoeptegel hebt geknuffeld. Maar dan kwam je vrijdagmiddag vrolijk de gewisruimte in met een paar hechtingen in je kin. En zei, nou, kan gebeuren. Niels, jij ook hartstikke bedankt voor al je inzet en alle gezelligheid die je naar Gewis hebt gebracht. En heel veel succes met alles. Gefeliciteerd. And once again, congratulations to all of the students sitting here. That's it.
Let's thank Sanne for the very nice speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Masters of Science, with reference to the words of the previous speakers, and on behalf of the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science, Electrical Engineering and Industrial Engineering and Innovation Sciences, I congratulate you, your families and your friends on your degree. I wish you every success and good fortune in your future careers. Carrying a scientific degree comes with duties and rights, and it's my responsibility to make you aware of this. Please pay attention, because it's important to understand your duties and rights, in particular in this day and age. The scientific degree of master involves duties as well as rights. As a holder of this degree, you are committed to standards of scientific integrity, trustworthiness, intellectual honesty, openness, independence, and societal responsibility. These standards are described in more detail in the Netherlands Code of Conduct for Research Integrity and in the Eindhoven Code based on it. You also have duties towards society. You must be clear about the boundaries of your own expertise, and you must communicate honestly and independently about the results of your work, including potential risks associated with it. You're committed to the ethical codes for research and design involving human subjects or animals. The university likes to keep in touch with its graduates, and that's why we also ask you to register in AlumniNet and become a member of one of our alumni associations. More detailed information about this membership can be found in the letter enclosed in your package, I presume. Ladies and gentlemen, outside this room, you will have the chance to congratulate the freshly awarded Masters of Science. But first, our photographer will take some pictures of the candidates and their supervisors. We ask the Masters of Science to line up on which side of the room? That side of the room? Okay. And then the supervisors will join behind you. We would appreciate it if all others could already leave the room, please, and wait outside to congratulate the Masters of Science there. And we really appreciate your presence and thank you for attending this event today. So the public session of the Examinations Committee is hereby closed. Thank you.